This is the 2026 Toyota Sequoia Limited Hybrid. Is it worth every penny? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. I borrowed this Sequoia from my friends at Yoakum Toyota in Shreveport, Louisiana. If you would like to know more about this particular model, check out the link down in the description of the video. And the thing that really separates this full-size SUV apart from most of its competitors is that it's available as a hybrid model, if that's something you so desire. So let's see what all you get if this is something you are interested in. We're going to have our full LED lighting here on the front end. That's going to include LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, and you also have the LED fog lights. They're going to be located right down there, as you can see. And something that I know will make a lot of you happy is the fact that there's not a lot of gloss finish here. That helps out on the front end to avoid noticeable damage from rock chips and things that, well, are gonna happen when you're driving down the road. It's just unavoidable, but you can mitigate at least seeing the damages easily. Now, I do like the finish that we have here on the grille. It looks nice. We're gonna have the forward-facing camera right here, also our nice large Toyota crown, the Toyota logo, and we'll also see our remote. Remote start now is available through the app. When your subscription is active, you can actually use the remote to remote start the vehicle as well, or you can use the app to use the remote to remote start your Sequoia. You're going to push the lock button 3 times. On the third press, you hold it down, it's going to start. Now, I can't show that to you because of the fact that obviously the subscription is not active. This model is going to be 4-wheel drive. We're going to have 20-inch wheels. And you can see the iForce Max badge here on the hood. We also have turn signal indicators built into these power adjustable heated, and as you can see, power folding side view mirrors. They will also have blind spot monitoring built in. And you'll have the roof rails up top along with the crossbars. So you're going to be able to maximize your cargo capacity, not only with what's going to be on the interior, but also up there on the roof area. We'll find the Limited logo here on the door, and we'll also find our assist steps. And once again, something I like is the lack of a gloss finish here. As far as having gloss black, it has more of a matte finish with our surround with the fenders right here. That's a good thing. And we finish things off here with the rear roof spoiler. You'll have your rear window wiper, and once again, LED lighting back here on the rear. Another one of those iForce Max badges, just so everybody knows what they're sitting behind at the red lights or driving down the road. Your Sequoia logo, and you will find a power tailgate that makes gaining access to your cargo capacity very simple. And one more thing I do want to show you real quick is what's located right here. Something you often won't find with a hybrid vehicle, no matter what size of SUV or sedan it may be, and that is a spare tire. Motivation to get this Sequoia down the road comes from a combination of a dual overhead cam V6 and dual electric motors. Horsepower comes in at 437, and you have 583 pounds-feet of torque. All of that is mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. 0 to 60 in 2-wheel drive is going to be 5.6 seconds. 0 to 60 in 4-wheel drive is 5.8 seconds, and you have a top speed of 107 miles per hour. How about the MPGs for this hybrid? You'll have to tell me what you think about it. 19 city, 22 highway, 20 combined, and 5 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. You have a 22.5-gallon gas tank, and one of the advantages here is that the gas tank is always going to be locked until you come right here and hit this button, and that will open it up as far as being able to gain access to fill your tank up. And just as was the case with the MPGs that we looked at earlier, these are estimated numbers. On a full tank of gas, you might be able to pull off about 425 miles in the city, and out on the highway, that number will jump to 495 miles. For those of you that own a 25 or 2026 Sequoia, this trim level with this engine, this powertrain, tell us what kind of numbers you've been achieving. Max towing capacity comes in at an impressive 9,300 pounds. That's not too bad. And to gain access to your rear cargo area, there are a couple of different options for that, including pushing the button on the power tailgate, the remote, And there's also a button in the driver's seat area in the front seat. How about your cargo capacity? We're looking at 22.3 to 49 to 86.9 cubic feet. And you will have a little bit of storage underneath the floor. There are some things currently being stored there, as you can see, but normally that would sit completely flat. One thing I like here is that when you push the button right here, you hold it down for just a second on both sides, the two buttons, and then you don't have to hold them down. The seats automatically go down on their own from that point. Now you have to be patient. It does take a few seconds to do that, but that is something that I like very much. Now you will have to manually lower and raise the middle row seat backs when it comes to maximizing your cargo space. So, same thing for raising the seats. I'm gonna just push those buttons. You push them for just a second, you hear the beeps, and then you can let go of the buttons. As you can see, I'm not holding anything down. And if you need to power anything, you're gonna have your power outlet. Let me get this out of the way, where you can see it right there, and some cargo area lighting. That's gonna be located over there on just the passenger side. I am a little surprised at that. It'd be nice to see that on both sides. Now let's talk about what your second and third row passengers are going to find. Plenty of room with the armrest. It has a little bit of padding built into it. It's a nice and comfortable armrest. We're going to have a little bit of space right here, and our more traditional door bin down here with a bottle holder built in. You will also have the privacy shades. These are manual, so I have to put those in place, but we'll have that on both doors. One thing to note here is that you cannot move these seats back and forth, but to gain access to the third row is actually pretty easy. We just pull that release right there and everything gets up and out of the way. And because I know how people in YouTube land are, there is the proof that you don't have any kind of tracks to slide these seats back and forth. Now I will say, if you're an adult, you need to sit in the second row or the front row, drive or get in the passenger seat. Adults could sit back here for a while, but I don't think I'd want to be back here for a really long time. The floor is a little bit higher because of this being a hybrid model. So you're going to sit a little bit higher, but one thing that is an advantage to help out with that is the button right here. You can recline the seat backs. That's what that button is for. So we can bring that back up if we want to. That's going to be on both sides. We also have the cup holders right there. And you can also see that the seat backs for the middle row passengers also recline. That's a very common question a lot of people ask. It has to do with adjustability. Now, when it comes to the panoramic sunroof, that front portion will open. You do have a power sliding shade that can be moved back into place if you need it, if there's too much light coming into the interior. And you'll definitely find more leg space here in the middle row seats. We'll also find these seat pockets on the back of each seat, some cup holders, and the command center for managing the third zone of climate control. We can manage temperature, fan speed, all that good stuff is going to be here. There are your air conditioning vents. And something I didn't show in the back seat areas, you also have air conditioning vents here. That's also going to be the case in the third row. You also have your USB connectivity down there and another 120 volt power outlet. And for those who wanted to see the shade for the panoramic sunroof, there it is. The sticker price is $80,198. If you see people asking in the comments section what the sticker price is, tell them to watch the video. Let's see what else you get for that price. The driver and passenger side seats here in the front seat area are going to be heated and ventilated, controlled right here. There are your 3 stages of heat, your 3 stages of ventilation, and they're power adjustable with lumbar support. We're also going to find our glove box right there. Plenty of space where that's concerned. We have a sunglass holder. That's good to know. Here's how you control the power shade and the power sunroof. Toyota calls it a moonroof. Some people call it a sunroof. It just depends. Whatever you want to call it. And there are your reading or your map lights. And you can see what else is up there. There's your SOS button if you need to call. Hopefully you never need that, but it's here if you do. And on the passenger side over there, just as we're going to have on the driver's side, nice large armrest and door bins, a very comfortable driver and passenger seat here in the front seat area. And you will find all of our controls here as far as being able to lock and unlock all of the windows so the children and the adults can't play with the windows when you're driving down the road. It can happen. Also, our controls for our door locks and our power mirrors right there. And you can see some of the other buttons we have to control different features and functionality of the Sequoia. Right here, you're going to have the release to adjust your tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. Everything for your cruise control over here. And your other steering wheel mounted controls here. And we can go through quite a few things here on the driver's display depending on what you want to see and where you want to see it. You can select settings, whatever you need to do, you can go in there and do that. And you can see all I'm doing is just scrolling around with the buttons right here and just using whatever I need to. You can see that you have your compass right there, something that I know a lot of people like to have. Some vehicles not having that anymore. So apparently that must mean something to a lot of you because you've asked me about it in the past. And now you know that it's here. A nice modern looking driver's display. Over here on the right hand side, we'll have everything for our front and rear window wipers, your controls for your headlights and fog lights, all that good stuff, and your turn signal indicators. At this price point, yes, the Sequoia does come with turn signal indicators. Okay, I'm being sarcastic. Every trim level of the Sequoia does. Some of you just don't choose to use them. That's why it might be a little deceptive to whether it has the turn signal indicators or not. Yes, it's okay to laugh, unless you're that person who doesn't use your turn signals. Storage above the center screen. There's a 12-volt power outlet if you need that. Come in very handy, especially for those of you that need to power, well, whatever it may be. Now, one thing you won't have to worry about powering with your 12-volt is a dash cam. Here is a built-in dash cam. Factory dash cam from Toyota, something that should make a lot of people very happy. Now, I do apologize, what you're seeing on the screen right there, that's not really happening. I don't know if we can make that change by changing the position of the camera. It's not really doing that. It's just through the lens of my camera, my GoPro. But you've got a lot of good information here, trip information. We're going to go right into that. You can see what's going on there. Hopefully that's showing up well enough for you to see it. But it'll give you some details and information, current. You can go into history right here. Obviously, you can go into your settings. This is a very simplistic system to learn and use. No big deal as far as that goes. You can use what I like to refer to as the hunt and peck method, and that will do the job for you as far as that goes. Now, you can go into reverse to get to your cameras, or you can come to this button right here, and we can get to our cameras just like this. Now, I really like this overhead view, the 360-degree view. It shows you everything around the vehicle before you move. You never know what might be around you. If people pulled into the parking space next to you and they're too close to you, or if you're too close to them. It could go both ways. And then if we want to change the view, we can do that just like this. And one other thing that's very interesting here, you might notice that that Sequoia on the screen is the wrong color. Guess what? There we go. We can change that. Or if you want to use a different color, you can do that. Something that is very interesting, just something I thought I'd show you that you may or may not have known was here, but there it is. You can change the on-screen color of your Sequoia. It only changes the on-screen color. Yes, I had somebody in a previous video in the past that actually thought I was talking about changing the exterior color itself. They were serious about that. That person may have a driver's license too. I hope they don't live anywhere near me. We'll find other controls right here as far as the air conditioning goes. Dual zone climate control. There is a USB port right there. Also the control for your radio, turning that on and off and adjusting the volume. And you can see everything for trailering right here depending on what you need to do and some of your other one-touch features. You will also have traction control if you're looking for your hazard lights. There they are, pretty easy to find. And there is the wireless charging pad. As far as this model goes, a little bit of storage right there. And your shifter, pretty easy to deal with as far as that goes. Hey, it's not a push button shifter, so that's a good thing. People seem to not be a fan of the push button shifter. Now, as far as your different views go, you do have several different camera views depending on what you need to see as far as what's going on around you. And we can go right here. We'll look at several different things. And we have that overhead view is there. Again, different settings, a lot going on. But depending on what you need to see, it's all there. Very easy to deal with, makes it very convenient. We'll also have right here, there is your power parking brake. If you're looking for brake hold or auto hold, there it is. Now, for those who may be looking at other SUVs, full-size SUVs out there, not every full-size SUV has this feature. Some people have asked me about that recently, but it is here in the Sequoia as far as your auto hold goes. Here's your drive mode selector. So we can go between our different driving modes, and you'll see what goes on with the screen when we do that. We'll go back and forth between our different driving modes, just a couple to choose from, but you can see what's going on. We've got sport, we've got normal, we've got eco. Now you can also come down here and go to your tow haul mode. You can push that right there. You can also go right here, and then that allows you to select whatever you need to as far as the different driving modes go. And depending on how you need to go, 4-wheel drive, if you want to be in 2-wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low, you're just going to push that back and forth. You're going to move it just like that. That's how easy that is to deal with. Now we're going to obviously go back to 2-wheel drive. And something that I like here is a little bit of extra storage space with the center console. There's a little bit of space right there, a little bit in front of it, but you also have the space within. Now this particular model has the built-in safe, a little bit of space next to that. But for those of you that are looking for that added peace of mind, well, there's one of those options. All right, here we go on the test drive with the Sequoia. And one thing you'll find here, I don't know if it'll be a surprise or not, but it does have a comfortable ride quality. There is plenty of space here in the front seat area. And the get up and go is good. Very comfortable seats. I feel like I could be comfortable here for a very long period of time as far as that goes. And one thing I didn't talk about earlier is your rear view camera mirror. I don't know if you can see that on the screen right now, but that is another feature that's here. So much here. I didn't talk about everything, but that is one of those things that's here. Hard to cover every single detail in these videos. I try and hit the high points so we don't go too long with it. Now you do have the underbody catalytic converter protection. It's something that was on the window sticker that I figured some of you might want to know about in case you asked. I don't think anybody ever has before, but they could. But overall, the Sequoia is a very enjoyable SUV to drive and very flexible in a multitude of ways. Obviously being four-wheel drive, you have that option for when you need to deal with those low traction situations. It's going to get you through. I know we don't deal with it very often here in Northwest Louisiana, and I'm grateful for it, but if you deal with a lot of snow and ice, well, guess what? That's going to help you out, and not a terribly bad turning radius. And let's step on it just a little bit. And if you hear that sound, it sounds kind of like a motorcycle engine running. I don't know if you can hear that or not. That is actually audio that you're hearing. That's something that some of you may or may not know about, but that's what that sound is. That's not actually the engine itself. And so kind of an interesting thing that this Sequoia has. That's because it's the hybrid version. But overall, it is easy to drive, easy to see out of. I like that. Now, obviously, the rear view camera mirror is going to come in very handy when you have enough people sitting in that third row to where your view is blocked, or maybe you have some cargo that's tall enough to obstruct your view through the rear window. The gas pedal and brake pedal are very easy to manage. That's a good thing. Depending on what you're coming out of, you won't have a difficult time, especially adjusting to the brake pedal. Sometimes we come out of vehicles with aggressive braking or maybe soft braking, and we have to adjust to the braking system with our new vehicle. But overall, the Sequoia is definitely a good vehicle. That's for sure. It's going to get the job done for you. You can haul people, you can haul cargo, whatever you need where all of that is concerned. It is a great multitasker because you're going to be able to take care of things in snow and ice or whatever low traction situations you might find yourself in. It's not going to let you down. It's going to take good care of you where that's concerned. And you have all of those different driving modes that you can take full advantage of. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, the technology here is not difficult to learn and use. Now, one thing I can't demonstrate here because I'm not going to have anybody in front of me at the light up here, but if there were, I'd pull up to them, the camera would come on and let me see what's going on around me. So another one of those great safety features, you have Toyota Safety Sense, all the different driving aids that are going to help you out a lot. Well, I take that back. It did come on. Apparently, when I come to a stop, it comes on. So you can see that for yourself. It gives you the overhead view. Everything is here. It's going to help you out with that. I have to say, I'm very pleased with what this Sequoia offers, but the real question is, are you, if you're planning to buy this as your next vehicle? And there it is, the 2026 Toyota Sequoia Limited Hybrid. Is it worth every penny? Tell me what you think down in the comments section. For the right person, obviously it is, but I'm curious to know, when it comes to buying a full-size SUV, What are the main things you're looking for? Say the top 3 most important features. I'm always curious to receive your feedback. I would like to say a special thanks to my friends at Yoakum Toyota for loaning me this Sequoia for the day so I could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And please share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. If you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.